by that detail, and ranking member, thank you so much. I was texting Rodney Scott. He told me to be kind, so for the record, I will be very kind, Commissioner Flores. Couple of things. First of all, thank your men and women, blue, green, tan, air marine, and all the folks that work for y'all. Thank you so much. I'm gonna have my questions are gonna be very specified to Laredo, if you don't mind this time. Number one, we have the largest checkpoint that needs to be upgraded. I think we already added $15 million. They're working on the design, but I like to make sure that y'all keep that on budget and on time, and that's one thing we need to work on. Everything else that y'all work on budget and on time, and hopefully we can follow the law on that aspect. And I'm worried about that checkpoint because it would be the fourth largest port of entry if it would be a port of entry, that checkpoint. And it's not only that checkpoint, but we got another one in Freer that's been on holding for a while, and we need that one too. And then I think Congressman Gonzalez has another one in Eagle Pass, I believe, also. So if we're going to add money, if y'all going to be adding money on reconciliation, just look at the basics. Needs for our men and women down there, and I'll talk about those checkpoints. The other thing is the efficiencies. I know we just established a CT pack in Laredo, an office there. You know, the more of those trucking lines we can get in, the better it is, because as you know, most of the drugs come in through ports of entry, not in between ports. According to the U.S. Sentencing Commission, 86% of the people that are caught at checkpoints and ports of entry are U.S. citizens, not illegal. They're U.S. citizens or residents. So we got to make sure we get your technology working. So we got to get that non-intrusive technology working. And I know sometimes the footprint is not there for some of the older bridges. But there are some new expansions coming in. The World Trade Bridge in Laredo, which is the largest port in the whole country, bigger than LA, and et cetera, et cetera. We only have 8 lanes, but we got the presidential permit where we go from 8 to 18 lanes. So from 18,000 trailers a day, you can imagine what's going to happen. That gives a lot of opportunities for the bad guys to use those trailers. We have the third largest crossing, the Columbia Bridge, which we're waiting for a presidential permit. It's the second largest in Texas. So Laredo has basically number 1 and number 3 in the whole southern border. So I'm very interested in the men and women in blue and the technology that y'all are looking at. And finally, the last thing I want to make a comment, and you can respond, is the cameras. As you know, FAA, somebody came up with a bright idea to put it all together, and the FAA was handling the maintenance. It's like asking Border Patrol to go on air traffics, and I think hopefully that was changed now. But in my area, 1/3 of the cameras are working. 2/3 are not working unless if those numbers have changed. But to say 1/3 of the cameras are not working, I know we're waiting for upgrades. That's not good for border security. Last point has to do with contracting. You mentioned that, you know, the tents, and those tents, I know some were coming from Rome, New York, and other places. But a lot of it, when the numbers went down, I don't know what the right term is. Y'all had this warm status. Y'all should have gotten rid of that, because we're paying millions and millions and millions of taxpayers' dollars, and y'all just got to do a better job at contracting and getting a better deal, and then just letting those, whatever it is, warm status going in. To that. And talking about warm, let me go to warm. Farm, there's a big detention center in Laredo, $280 million. I call it a woke type of project where for the sewage, y'all want to use worm. Apparently, y'all use it in California. That's fine in California, but the city of Laredo is willing to put sewage lines and work with you. This, I'll call it a woke project. I mean, just that worm thing. The rest is good. The detention center is good, but I would like to have a follow-up on all that.
Sure.
And I know we don't have enough time, but be happy to sit down with you. And for the record, tell Mr. Scott that I was very kind to you. He was very kind.
Congressman, thank you for the question. We'll definitely get back to you. We recognize all those projects. They are on our priority, and obviously as we get through ability to fund many of that, and some have already funded in regards to the Laredo checkpoint. So we're on track with that going forward.
And the detention center, what about that warm?
So the warm status that we put them in is because of the unpredictability that we had during the surges that we were seeing from illegal crossing. So we wanted to make sure that we were not going to be out of capacity, since with the new administration and the numbers that we saw consistently being down, we went through the process as soon as we could in order to scale down. And every one of those soft-sided facilities we no longer operate in.
Yeah. Well, this is a hard facility. They closed the tents, and we're talking about hard facility. You're a congressional affairs person, is very familiar with that. I don't have a problem. I support that detention center. I just have a problem with the warm form when the city's willing to connect sewage lines to y'all. But anyway, thank you so much, and I appreciate your service and your men and women that work for y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. The chair now recognizes the vice chair of the subcommittee, the gentleman from Arizona, home of the 5 Cs, copper, cattle, cotton, citrus, and climate. Mr. Subcommittee, the floor is yours for 5 minutes.
You're